Well, this is interesting. Just doing some tops for fun, taking a break from the Calvarion grind, and I just got a dupe Lil Zik, the Theater of Blood pet. Let's take a look at the collection log here. Today was not a day I planned on recording anything at all. I guess if I got a purple or something, but certainly did not expect a pet. Let's take a look at the collection log here. That is indeed our third one. 835 regular Theater of Bloods now, and 571 hard mode tops. I'm trying to do some behind the scenes recording here, and Baguette Chance. Come on, let it be the one. It never is. We could not script this any better in pulling that dupe Verzik pet. Very fitting as it is a spider. We are now going to be moving on to a spider boss. We're going to be doing Sarachnis. The number one reason we're doing this right now is it is currently the boss of the week for the clan. Make sure to stay tuned as we go on this grind together, and let's find out if I can snag a W in the clan. Now, if you've been following the series, unfortunately, we've been putting in a lot of hours at Calvarion without even getting the Void Waker Blade. So we're taking a step back from that, taking a bit of a break, and we're going to be working on some Sarachnis now for, well, I don't know if this is going to be one video or two videos, but we're going to be doing Sarachnis for a week, or for as long as we can and willing. And let's see how many KCs we can rack up, and let's see where we fall in the rankings for the clan. For early game Ironmen, or accounts in general, Sarachnis is actually a nice boss to do. You can get here pretty quickly. You just need some sort of slash or crush weapon. I'm thinking the likes of the dualies from Perilous Moons, or even a zombie axe. And the boss does drop a pretty nice early game weapon. It is a bit rare. I wouldn't actively go for the Sarachnis cudgel, but it is better than a dragon simi. Furthermore, for any Ironman in general, this boss drops red spider eggs in a egg sack, I believe, that comes in 100s, along with many other things, and it is a great boss to do for clues as well. Although, you may or may not know, I don't really do clues. The Sarachnis boss isn't complicated at all, but it absolutely becomes very trivial if you have high defense levels, access to aranea boots. So whether you're a main account that can simply buy these, or if you're an Ironman that's pretty progressed in Slayer, getting up to 92 for the Iraq sites to get the arena boots. If you have access to those and some magic defense armor, this boss is absolutely trivial. Made my way into the Forthos dungeon. This is what our starting KC and our collection log is going to be looking like. 360 Sarachnis KC with 12 giant egg sacs and 2 Sarachnis cudgels. No jar or pet yet. We might just end up with one. How many Sarachnis KC can we get in 7 days? Alright, we've been here for a few KCs now, running Dragon Claws as our spec, using Thralls and double death charge, speccing when we can. But I went ahead and took the liberties of turning off game sounds here. And in exchange, I did turn on area sounds, which is not too bad here. I saved us all, you and me alike, from the annoying high-pitched sounds that happen here at Sarachnis. Well, there's the KC there. Also, currently our scythe has 16,400 charges. I'm sure we're going to have to recharge this bad boy in the middle of the grind. Just pulling some information from the OSRS wiki here, and it says that we can get up to 70 KC an hour. I don't know if we're going to be reaching that because, I mean, we're just going to be pretty laid back and going for consistency rather than trying to squeeze out as many KCs as we can on any given hour. I mean, the plan right now is to do this for a whole week, right? We can't be sweating at such a laid back boss. We're going to burn ourselves out. So yeah, we'll see. But we are quickly racking up the KC already. I think we're about 15 in. Okay, just 17 KC into the trip. And we got ourselves a giant egg sack. That is plus 100 giant egg sacks, or red spider eggs, I should say. One thing that this reminds me of is that I didn't look at our starting red spider eggs total count. With the bank memory plugin, I can go ahead and check right now. We are at 592 spider eggs. Working on the last KC of the trip here, this is going to come out to be about a 22 KC trip. I don't know if that's good or not. I don't really have a reference, but we do have some prayer potions left over. We are on our last dose of our super divine or divine super combat. I don't know why I always flip that around, but yeah, we got 2 minutes on the divine. So just about an 18-minute trip as well. Looking at the loot that we got here, we got some GP. Obviously, the giant egg sack is the best thing we can get for us personally right now. But we also got a grubby key in which we could get more things out of the chest in the dungeon. We got some alcohols. We got some dwarf weed seeds. Now, this boss does drop a fair bit of noted herbs. We'll be checking out what else we're going to get in the future. And there's dragon bones. I guess it is a decent source of dragon bones for early game Ironman. A lot of supplies and resources for some skilling EXP in general, I suppose. A little check-in here at 400 KC. A little while later, another giant egg sack. Now we're up to plus 200 red spider eggs. The back-to-back giant egg sack. Let's go, plus 300. Back with another trip, and this time we brought our saturated heart. This is something I neglected to bring as well. A lot of the times these days, I quite simply forget I have the saturated heart and that I can use it at most places. Now, while we're not maging here, the magic levels does provide us with some extra defense alongside our Missouri armor here against these spawns. So I'll be bringing those now, and I'm going to be really not taking any damage. Wow, another giant egg sack. That's the third one this session already, and we're just getting started. We're only a few hours into this skill of the week, or I meant boss of the week. The giant egg sack is about a 1 in 20, and I guess that checks out for us as we've done about 60, a little over 60 KC so far, so I guess we're actually on rate. Alright, I may have been autopiloting, and I picked up this fourth giant egg sack at some point. I'm gonna have to scroll up here to see when I got it. Apparently about 5 KC ago. Alright. I guess now we're spooned. Because of our gear and how simple this boss is, despite it being a PVM grind, this is actually going to be a very chill week. We mentioned the Sarachnis cudgel earlier, and here it is. This is our third one. Let's see if we can look at the log before the boss slaps us. 445, third Sarachnis cudgel. And just in time. We actually stood under the boss a little bit there. Perfect. Wow, a cudgel is only worth 106k these days. I feel like these things were worth a little bit more at one point in time. There's nothing more sad than getting a nothing drop. I didn't even know that was possible at Sarachnis. But I'm guessing it must be a rare drop table roll, and that's why we don't have anything. 469, another giant egg sack. Along with some egg potatoes, extend our trip a little bit. Very nice all around. Just finished a trip, and that's going to wrap up the first session of Sarachnis for me. Looks like we've did about 117 KC and ended up with 5 giant egg sacks. So that's pretty nice. 500 red spider eggs. We also did pull the Sarachnis cudgel, which of course we have no use for, and we already have the collection log for, but it's going to be pretty interesting to see how many of those we rack up. I'll definitely continue this another time, and we're also going to have to boot up 416 Hero, our other account, and get back to some thieving. Logging in for day number 2 of Boss of the Week, Sarachnis. I am also logged in on 416 here today. Last night I was just too lazy, honestly. I was just too lazy. But here we are. Right now, we're about 59% of the way into 85, so I think sometime later tonight we'll be 86. Ideally, anyways. Alright, I try to mind my own business, but what is this? This is a very interesting combination of gear this guy's wearing. He's got the Missouri, but then a Saradomin D-high top. Wait, and a myth cape? Wait, what are we doing? I can only assume he's going to Sarachnis, but that is certainly a combination of gear that I've never seen before. He's most certainly an Ironman. I don't know how many people know this, but obviously the aranea boots are very good at Sarachnis, but did you know you can slide yourself through webs? Social experiment here. Oh, he hopped! He hopped! Wow! What a nice guy. I wanted to see what happened since we both kind of showed up here at the same time, and this generous lad hopped. Faith in humanity slightly restored. The bar is that low, ladies and gentlemen. The bar is that low. Man, I just started the trip and I realized I forgot my saturated heart again. It's not in my setup. I'll adjust the setup right now, and then the next trip I'll make sure to bring the heart. Oh, and our starting KC for this second session is 478. We just did the one. We'll see how many red spider eggs we can collect today, and maybe for fun, even though this is completely irrelevant, we'll see if we get any more Sarachnis cudgels. What we are missing from the collection log, however, is the jar and the pet. While we are chipping away at the KC right now for this session, let's talk about where we are in the boss of the week. You know, I mentioned it a few times already, right? But it'd be good to show you guys just where we fall currently. There is about another 6 full days of the event remaining, and I am indeed in first place at the moment, based on before I logged in, so we're not counting the session. I haven't logged out yet. I've done about 118 KC. So far, it looks like second place has done 106, and at least that stat was last updated 3 hours ago. But it appears they're not online right now, so I might be in genuine first place. Maybe. But it is very early days in the boss of the week, so we'll see how it goes. Random number here, 492 KC, but we got 10 Renar weeds. Always love a good herb drop. Alright, that was 500 KC. I mean, we didn't start very far from this little milestone today, but there it is. Here's a few hundred more at the very least. We'll see how this goes. And of course, now that we are banking from the trip, first things first, let's grab our saturated heart out of the bank before we forget. Don't know if I recorded it just now, but I did go back to Sarachnis, got the 1 KC, and realized I didn't even bring a super combat potion with me. So a little bit of a waste of time having the TP out after 1 KC. But now we're ready. We have the combat potion and we have the saturated heart. Giant egg sac, first one today, along with a rune med helm. A little bit of GP right there, but plus 100 red spider eggs. Oh, that was scary. Okay, we're 34 health. No prayer. I kind of greeted a little bit there. I was completely out of prayer potions. The boss is currently sitting at like, I don't know, 50 health, but we couldn't quite get it done. But yeah, let's quickly regear and go back. The boss is probably going to regenerate. I don't know, maybe not. All right, so does Sarachnis regenerate? It should be pretty low right now. Oh, it did. Okay. That is an inconsistency, I find. Some bosses do, some bosses don't. And it's not like Sarachnis is an instance boss either, so I don't know what's up with that. Alright, after that little bit of a panic TP out, first KC back, a giant egg sac. That is plus 200 red spider eggs for this session so far. And I've kind of lost track as to how many we've gained since the start of the boss of the week, but you know, we'll check back in later. 557 KC, another giant egg sac. I believe this is the second or third of the session. Back-to-back giant egg sacs. I wish I recorded this in full, but I got uncut rubies on the previous drop. And I noticed, you know, I had sapphires and rubies in my inventory, and I was questioning whether or not the boss dropped emeralds. And yeah, here we are. We got 26 uncut sapphires, 29 uncut rubies, and 29 uncut emeralds. Can we get some diamonds? We didn't have to wait too long before pulling yet another giant egg sac. We're just racking them up. Again, these things are 1 in 20, but I highly doubt it's even been 20 KC since the last one. Oh my god, it happened. We got uncut diamonds. We got the emeralds, the rubies, the sapphires, and the diamonds. Alright, I made a mistake when I banked, and I only brought the 1 dose of Divine Super Combat. So we're going to be here for another 3 minutes. But first KC, or I guess that was second KC, we'll get our hands on yet another giant egg sac. 584 plus 1 giant egg sac. Thank you very much. Just 2 KC shy of reaching the 600 milestone, another giant egg sac. Well, that was 600 Sarachnis KC. 6 grimy aventos. Now this is a pretty spicy drop right here. Grimy Catentines, the egg sac, and a grubby key all at once. Lost in my thoughts here. 2 KC in, didn't even pick up the giant egg sac from the previous KC. We are absolutely printing giant egg sacs. Let's go. And some aventos, some more of those. About to end this session shortly, but I guess now we're printing giant egg sacs. Another one. Last KC of the session right now. Give me the pet. Or I'll take another giant egg sack. Come on. What are we in? Where's the loot? 27 uncut emeralds. Man, I finished the boss off in the top left of our screen here, and it ended up being on the top or the bottom right where the loot is. Alright, that is the end of the session for us right now. We'll probably do some more later tonight and definitely more tomorrow. Checking in on a Tuesday evening right now, there's currently 5 days and 7 hours remaining for this boss of the week. Here I am on 416 here doing some thieving. Honestly, I've been doing a very, very poor job here. We're still not 86 yet, but we're going to hit that today for sure. Now, if we take a look at the Wise Old Man competition tracker here, it looks like we're currently in second place and about 85 KC behind. I am geared up running the wrong way, actually, and ready to go do some more Sarachnis now. But on my way there, let me just show you guys what I was up to last night. I did take a bit of a break away from Sarachnis and potted some solo CMs. Ended up getting some pretty interesting things. I ended up pulling uniques in back-to-back raids. However, they weren't purples. It was the Metamorphic Dust, our 7th, by the way. Those things are 1 in 400 into a Twisted Kit, which was also our 7th, if I recall correctly. Now, I'm actually a little bit lucky on the Dust, but quite unlucky on the kits. The starting KC for today is 682. I've lost track of the red spider egg situation. We'll just check when we finally call it for the week. Didn't take long for us to get our first giant egg sack of the day. A sandwich lady offering a square sandwich. Not interested unless it's a baguette. Wow, what a good start to the session today. I've got 2 giant egg sacks in my inventory already and a Sarachnis cudgel at 698. That was our 4th Sarachnis cudgel. Oh, I couldn't even really show the log as we got rudely interrupted. But yeah, 698 KC, our 4th Sarachnis cudgel. Here it is. Took much longer than it really needed to be, but 86 thieving. Doesn't appear we actually unlock anything, but one step closer to 99. Oh my god, I was busy instigating in the clan chat. I just said, damn, he called you broke, and 717 KC, jar of eyes. Let's take a look at the collection log here. There we go. One thing remaining, and that's the pet. Looking at the wiki here, the jar of eyes is a 1 in 2,000 drop. So not quite as rare as the pet, which is 1 in 3,000, but we certainly are very spooned. We're only about just under or just over a third of the drop rate right now. We are still chipping away at the KC here at Sarachnis, but we've made a little bit of an adjustment. Instead of the Torva helm, we are now using the oath plate helmet. This is because it doesn't lose a max hit, and in fact, it's a little bit better DPS when you compare the Torva helmet versus the oath plate helmet. We are working on KC 800 here, and I gotta say, I do feel the upgrade, the slight DPS boost from the oath plate. Oh, and we get ourselves a giant egg sack. It's actually been a few KCs since I've seen these, so always good to get. Just reached 900 KC here. We're still somewhere between 2 and 3 days into the boss of the week, so there's still another 4 to 5 days left. And honestly, I'm beginning to have my doubts on whether or not I'm going to do the full week. I'm pretty keen on getting back to Calvarion and getting my Voidwaker blade, and then ultimately the Voidwaker from the other 2 bosses. I will continue here for at least another day though. I think I do want to get up to about 1000 KC done. Not necessarily 1000 KC total, but from whatever my starting point was, I believe it was 360. I want to get to 1360. I think that's going to be the goal we're going to work towards, and then we shall see how we feel from there. Getting started on a brand new day here at Sarachnis. Today's probably going to be the last day if I can get enough KC in. Like I said before, the goal is to do 1000 within the competition. Right now, starting today, we've done about 602. So unsure if I'm going to be able to do another 400, maybe a little bit tomorrow. Either way though, today is a good day. We started out first KC with a giant egg sack. Well, nothing's changed as we're working on Sarachnis. We're still parked at Varlamore. We've been looking at this specific type of screen on this account for who knows how long now. I'm probably going to hit level 87 thieving later today. We're about 57% of the way through already. Although it is going to take us another 161k EXP. Working on KC, total KC, 1000 right now. Can I spoon the pet by 3 times the rate real quick? You know, luck in the other direction. Although my pet luck has been insane lately. Not so much items though, but pet luck has been insane from Calvarion, Ardio. What was our most recent pet? I already forgot. Obviously, Doom pets were very common. And there's one more pet we got recently that I can't seem to remember. Oh, we got a dupe Theater of Blood pet. Lil Zik. Anyways, that was 1000 KC. We got 77 Mithril ore. Not very exciting. An underrated part of the grind right now is the cosmic runes. Obviously, we're always looking at the giant egg sack drop, but I've been racking up cosmic runes. Each drop, every time it drops it, it's about 100. For example, the last one gave us 129. Our rune pouch had about 4,000 in them. Now we're up to nearly 7,000. Wait, this is actually kind of crazy. KC 1077, we would have received a hard clue scroll, and we got a dragon medhelm. I feel like this happened a few days ago, but I just got a nothing drop. So disappointing. Working on KC 1100 here. From this point on, we're gonna need another 260 KC until we hit our little goal, our target goal of 1000 within the week, or within the last 4 days, that is. A 1722, wow, that's actually... Oh, a purple! A purple! Joe got MVP, but it's my purple. It's my purple. What if I get a third scythe? Alright. Here we go, here we go. A sanguinesty staff. Haven't seen this in a hot minute. It's only worth 24.5 mil. Oh, you know what? That's because of the Eye of Ayak. Oh, man. An Avernic would have been better. An Avernic would have been better. Let's take a look at the collection log here real quick under raids, Theater of Blood. That is our 6th sanguinesty staff. 573 hard motobs. Huh? Huh? Another one? Another one. Avernic Hill. More money this time. We shall take it. Very nice, very nice. Was that a back-to-back? We had a couple of wipes, so I'm not even sure. Let's see. It was a back-to-back. 574 hard mode KC. Dude, no purple this time? Unbelievable. Ended up doing some hard mode tobs with some learners. 3 of them, 3 out of 5. Honestly, not the most ideal getting 3 learners in at once, but you know what? It went pretty well, all things considered. I got back-to-back purples in my name. All in all, the 5-way split turned out to be about 13 mil GP in total, so nothing too crazy, unfortunately. But yeah, we're back at Sarachnis, and we got another 226 KC to go, or 16 actually. No, 226, because our target goal is 1,350, or 360 rather. Getting my numbers all mixed up here. And by then, we would have done 1,000 within this clan's boss of the week. Okay, I was in the middle of a Sarachnis trip, but I've been invited to some wildy content here. Now this is the Vedion boss, the multi-boss variant of Calvarion. I'm not sure how the drop table differs here. I just got 3 limperts. I think it is contribution based since I showed up near the end of a KC there. I only got 3 limperts. Now I'm pretty sure if we're talking about efficiency here, this is not worth doing. But you know what? A little bit of fun with the boys. Why not? And hopefully we don't get PK'd. Because, again, this is multi. A clan could roll up. I mean, heck, clans have rolled up on me when I'm at the singles boss. No way. 15 Calvarion or Vedion KC. Another Skull of Vedion. That is our 5th one, I believe. Okay, we had a little bit of a detour at Vedion. It didn't last for very long, though. I'm not sure if I was able to record it, but I did get PK'd by a clan. Like 4 or 5 people dropped in. Really, bro? Lame. Not much you can do at that point when they instantly catch a freeze on you too, so... Yeah, it is what it is. We're back at Sarachnis now, though. We're gonna hit our target here, hopefully, sometime tomorrow. But yeah, I never planned on doing any multi-bosses for the wilderness, and... I mean, I guess that's why, you know? We barely got any KC. The KCs were much more slower, and let me tell you, Vedion is actually very annoying to do with all the extra wolves, all the extra hellhounds, I should say, and the lightning. So much more effort involved for... I don't even know if there's any gain, honestly. We couldn't quite get the job done yesterday, so one more day of Sarachnis. We need another 204 KC to go until we complete our 1000 Sarachnis KC within this boss of the week. There's still a whole 3 days and 8 hours, give or take, from the exact moment of this recording until the end of the actual competition. But for me personally, I'm going to call it as soon as I hit 1000 KC. I'm going to throw up the current rankings in the competition. There's not too many participants, but I am currently number 1. But interesting to see if I'll hold number 1, since I won't be doing it for the rest of the week. Just started the Sarachnis trip, but over on 416 here, we logged in and we're once again set up here at Varlamore. Honestly, I should have been 87th thieving yesterday night, but towards the end of the night, I was just getting lazy. So we got 61,000 EXP to go until we hit 87. Should hit that in just a little over 1 hour. Working on total KC 1,200. Let's see what we're going to get here. I don't think I've actually gotten a single spider eggs drop today yet so far. And we've done several trips already. Let this be the one. Let this be the one. Never mind, we got some death turns. Wow, I think it took us over 50 KC today to get our first giant egg sack. This is our 4th or 5th trip. I don't even know. I haven't really been keeping track like that, but first giant egg sack of the day, plus 100 red spider eggs. You very rarely get this opportunity, but last KC was KC 1, 2, 3, 4. There's not many bosses that we're going to be doing over 1,000 of, I don't think, so... I don't quite remember what I said at the beginning of this grind. I think we may have been at around 16,000 scythe charges. Well, we just got the chat message saying we have 5,000 charges remaining. Obviously, we have used the scythe elsewhere. We've done a few chambers runs and a decent amount of theater of blood runs, but the bulk of these charges are definitely here at Sarachnis. 87 thieving finally came up. Doesn't look like we unlock anything. Unfortunate, but we'll keep trucking on. We're going to need another 413k EXP till 88. And we're racking up the house keys. We got nearly 3,000 in our inventory. Still have not bothered to do the house portion of this activity. Just reached 1,300 total KC. Making good progress today. We need another 60 to go, which is actually less than an hour. Or maybe at a comfortable pace, just about 1 hour. So we'll check back in when we get there. Alright, this is going to be our last Sarachnis trip for this video and for quite a while. We got 14 KC to go until we hit our milestone here. Let's see if we can snag a few more giant egg sacs for red spider eggs, or perhaps even a pet on the way out. Here we are waiting on Sarachnis to spawn, and this one is going to be the final one for quite some time. I can't see myself coming back to Sarachnis for a while. We did go pretty ham on this in the last 4 days. 1,000 KC coming right up, and our total KC is going to be 1,360. Can we work some YouTube magic here and get a pet? And right after this, we're going to pull up the competition leaderboards, and I do believe we are first for what it's worth, but I'm curious to see what it's going to be like by the time the actual event ends. There hasn't been too many participants, but there we go. Last KC right there. 23.6k GP. Wow, we actually got a lot of coin drops that trip. 72k. We had to relog to update the high scores. For some reason, my POH is at a Relica. I honestly can't remember why. But anyways, I'm going to take a screenshot of the leaderboards right now. Exactly 1,000 Sarachnis KC gained so far. We are comfortably in first right now, but again, there are 3 more days and Sarachnis is a quick boss, so we'll never know what might happen. That's going to do it for me for the Sarachnis grind, though. We will be returning to the wilderness, back on track for the Voidwaker. One final thing before we close out this video officially. The giant egg sacs, we got 51 of those, so 5,100 red spider eggs. Plus the existing 592 we already have. That's going to be a good amount of super restores that's going to last us quite some time.